like, and subscribe. Now look, if there's going to be a World War III, it will be on the shores of America. That is guaranteed. Why do you think Russia sent a nuclear submarine with ships to Cuba? Why do you think he did that? And what weapons did he leave in Cuba? And what did they discuss in Cuba? Now, approximately 2 weeks after that visit, China sent warships to Alaska. Alaska, 84 miles off the shore of America. So what will happen is that Russia will attack from the southeast. China will attack from the northwest. You see how this works out? Surrounded. And when Russia went to Cuba, he wanted to see what America was going to do, how they were going to handle it. They did a sorry job of handling it. China was in the United States monetary waters, meaning they can't fish in those waters, but they can do military exercises in those waters, and they did, and they were 84 miles off the shore of Alaska. Now understand this. China has built an aircraft carrier, but the aircraft carrier that China built is not to attack. It is a medical aircraft carrier, a medical aircraft carrier, so that after the bombing starts and then they start to put feet on the ground, then they will have a hospital for their wounded and injured, an aircraft carrier sized hospital. All Russia will have to do is take his people to injured soldiers, take them to Cuba. You see, you have to have that in war. You have to have medical facilities for your injured soldiers. Then you also have to have repair facilities for any for tanks and things of this nature to be repaired. And see, Russia can set up repair shops within 48 hours. So they can have repair shops all over Cuba if they want it. And they can also put a missile defense system in Cuba, just like that. You know, like the Iron Dome, the United States have Star Wars. Well, Russia has a defense system that is capable of shooting down rockets as well. The only difference is theirs is more technologically advanced than ours. You see, Russia knows everything we have because Russia has captured and taken a lot of the weapons that were abandoned by the Ukrainian soldiers. So they tested this stuff, modified it, took ideas from it, and implemented it into their war machine. And they shared this technology with, guess who? China. And not only China, they share this technology with North Korea. Now, the United States has 800 bases all over the world, 120 bases, 120 military bases in Japan. So who do you think runs Japan? United States. But let me tell you this. Japan has as much chance of defeating China as Mexico has of defeating the United States, as Ukraine had of defeating Russia. These are superpowers. Russia's a superpower. China's a superpower. The United States is no longer a superpower anymore. We did not take care of our military. I've repeated this over and over again. We tried to use the ocean for defense, thinking nobody could get here, no missiles could get here. And then we tried to use sanctions for offense, to cripple a country's economy so they can't afford to support their military. But you got a black market, and the sanctions were hurting the United States as much as it was hurting the so-called enemies of the United States. But the difference is the enemies of the United States, they found a way around the sanctions and created what? BRICS. BRICS is the baby of sanctions. Look, if you got to go over a body of water and somebody tears up all your boats, then you're going to try to build a bridge. You're going to try to find another way to get over there. That's all sanctions did. Made China and Russia develop another way of securing income to support their technology and their war machines. And the United States is stuck on stupid, still trying to put sanctions on people, and then trying to tell people what to do. The United States is talking about going to war with China, going to war with China. Then China comes back with some dirt from the moon, and the United States say, "Can I have some?" Then China has all this advanced technology, and then the United States says, "Can you show it to me too?" China is outproducing the United States in automobiles and everything else, and then the United States says, "Could you stop doing that? Because we can't keep up with you." Does that make any sense? I mean, the United States isn't acting like it has any sense whatsoever. But like I'm saying, you can go ahead and you can listen to the United States media lying to you, listening to Trump lie to you, Biden lied to you. But the United States is losing the war in Ukraine. And as I told you, because the United States is just a proxy war, and they plagued Zelensky and plagued the Ukraine, and then they was also stealing the defense money. The United States spends 50% of the gross domestic product on the military, and we're losing a war. Now, how can you lose? You spend more than the top 5 countries in the world spend on military, and you're losing. Evidently, somebody was just stealing the money. Then you've been exploiting all these countries, and the United States is $35 trillion in debt. United States is more in debt than any country in the world and has nothing to show for it. Explain that silliness. But like I said, Russia went to Cuba, and that's where they plan on landing. They will probably bomb the hell out of Florida and anything along that coast. And they can also reach Washington with nuclear warheads. But see, the thing about Russia is that, and China, is that they're not going to attack people. They're going to attack the military bases. They always attack military bases. They don't go after civilians. That's what Israel and the United States does to the Palestinians, and then lie about it. Then the United States told Ukraine, you can use our weapons to bomb inside of Russia, to bomb innocent people. Why? Because when you lose in a war, then you want to bomb the people of that country and use them as hostages. You say, okay, you already you are defeating, you are deleting approximately 1,500 soldiers per day. So we know we're losing the war. So if you don't stop, we will just start bombing your cities. That's a fear tactic. That's what you do when you can't defeat a country. You start picking on innocent people, and you use them as hostage to say, "Hey, I'm gonna just bomb your cities and stuff." See, the United States can do that because we thousands of miles away from the situation. So we think. I'm gonna tell you this: they know the strength of the United States Navy because the Houthis have been beating the hell out of the United States Navy in the Red Sea and made United States take the aircraft carriers out of there. Took them out of there because they were nothing but big targets for drones and missiles. I mean, you got a $6 billion ship and then you got billions of dollars worth of airplanes on it. And then you got over 1,000 soldiers on it. That's the perfect target. And it's sitting out there in the middle of the ocean. All you got to do is throw 300 drones at it. And the missiles and the drones cost $3,000. The missiles to protect the thing cost $1 million a piece. Eventually, you're going to run out of missiles. And they got thousands and thousands of those drones. They ain't worried about it. Not only do they have that, they have that 5G, and Russia can knock out the United States radar system, their guidance system for that they use to control the drones and stuff. Russia can jam it. Russia can jam it. And I'm gonna tell you something else about Putin. Putin has his own. You heard of the Sun Tzu Art of War? Well, Putin has been at this game so long, he can write his own book. And one of Putin's thing is this: if I'm gonna go to war with you, I'm gonna strike first. If I'm going to war with you, I'm gonna strike first. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If Putin strikes you first, he's already figured out the end game. Putin thinks his way all the way through he done thought he knows how he's gonna start, he knows what's gonna happen in the middle, and he knows what he plans on doing in the end, and China does too. Understand this, Putin started from the ground up, worked his way up to the head of the KGB, and now runs the country. There are no tricks of the trade that this man don't know. He don't need advice. He can give advice. But like I say, don't believe me. Don't believe me. Believe what they tell you and ignore what you see. Like, subscribe, talk to you later.